A father to say that his child, that their brain is broken, they're broken. Your child's brain is not broken. Your thinking is broken. Excuse my language. Your thinking is broken. Your perception is broken. As a father, it's broken. As the head of the household, the spiritual leader, should you subscribe to traditional Christian values, you're a broken ass leader, a broken father in every possible way. And then to lead the wife, I guarantee, in that direction, disgusting, despicable. It's everything that's wrong with anything to do with parenting in our current age. It's disgusting. There is more though, so just wait. IQ points as we speak. As for a spiritual leader being this woman, I don't. Her name was on the thing. I don't know. I don't care. But actually, you know what? I have it right here. Her name is Catherine Crick. She is of Hillsong, and I do believe it's the Hillsong in Sydney. So we're talking Australia. Yeah, Katie, you need to be in the podcast call-in channel in Discord if you want to come on. And then you need to raise your hand. And then I got you. Thanks, Mystic. So Catherine Crick of Hillsong, Sydney, I believe. I'm not sure about that, but I'm pretty sure that's out of the Sydney location. They were having some kind of revival. They called it something else. I don't care. You can Google it if you care enough to find it. It had a name. But they were doing deliverance. So this is Hillsong. Yeah, exactly. Hillsong is one of the most corrupt, money-hungry, preying on congregant organizations that exists. And I don't mean within the Christian sector. I mean that exists. The number of catastrophic mishandling of both congregants just emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually, as well as financially. The number of times leadership within that church has been caught either committing adultery, so stepping out on their spouse as a leader, or mishandling church funds is astronomical. And then if you actually are able to dig into their finances, which is very difficult, and it really shouldn't be considering how they file from a financial perspective, it shouldn't be, but it is, meaning that they have separate corporations set up or separate 501c3s that have finances funneled into different areas. It's very difficult. But even with them doing all that shady stuff financially, you can still blatantly see mishandling of congregant funds, mishandling of tithes. And it's a testament to how stupid, how dumb, how ignorant the modern, just person in general, but within our perspective, the modern Christian is, that they buy into this shit. That somebody who is seeking God gets so blindsided by a celebrity, because that's what these people are. They're not pastors. They're not spiritual journeymen or advisors. They are false teachers. They're what in 2 Corinthians right now, last week, Sunday. Not many of you come, but we do Bible study every Sunday at 6 p.m. What we were talking about last week, what Paul was talking about, really most of the first portion, most of actually the entire book of 2 Corinthians, is Paul against these false teachers, these people who adopt Christianity, who adopt Christ in likeness, but preach a different message. They take what was wholesome, what was true, what was clear, what was blatant, and what was unadulterated, and they adulterate the absolute hell out of it. But they do it in such a way that people who do not think, who do not use their brains, and people who just blindly accept the sheep of the world, they go with it. And that was the Corinthian church. The Corinthian church had a tendency to go towards whatever the shiny shit was. And so back then, in biblical times, when Paul was dealing with this, Paul was not well spoken. He was super educated, but not well spoken, so he couldn't articulate it eloquently. But he had the information. He had the knowledge. He had the passion. He had the experience. He had the revelation. But he had a hard time conveying all of it. But he had all of that. Yet the Corinthian church consistently, constantly, and perpetually decided to shun Paul, talk crap about Paul, question Paul's apostleship, and instead go towards the false teachers at Corinth, because they could wrap up the Christian message, make it look really good. But what did they actually want from the Corinthian people? He wanted their fucking money. That's what all of the drama within Corinth during the New Testament was all about. It was about false teachers, essentially prosperity preachers, but it looked different. They were better at it back then. Nowadays, prosperity preachers are so blatant that they just want your money, that to the point that if they go on these talk shows, right? They go on these talks, like Joel Osteen goes on talk shows and he gets questioned about, what do you believe? What do you believe? He sideskirts every answer because he knows, as Joel Osteen, he can't take a hard stance on anything. He has to be open-ended on everything because God forbid he loses a congregant, he loses the tithe. It's all about prosperity. It's all about money. So prosperity preachers in our day and age are fucking garbage. They suck. They're really bad con men. Yet at the same time, it's a testament to how stupid people are because millions of people buy into it. But the point is, during the New Testament times, the prosperity preachers of that time were very good at what they did. They actually looked and spoke like a pastor, like a leader. They spoke like somebody who really knew Christianity, really knew Christ. They knew the way, that early Christian movement. They were very eloquent in how they spoke. Yet at the end of the day, the whole purpose was to get money out of the people, to pull people away from normal church, these small groups like the Church of Corinth, and to pull them into this bullshit and try to take their money. It's what all of the Corinthian epistles are about. And honestly, I have a conspiracy theory that the reason we're missing 1 or 2 letters to the Corinthian church is because they probably go into some kind of detail on that. It probably goes into more detail about these false apostles, the false teachers, and how they were disrupting the church. Okay, I'm gonna take a breath. This shit just pisses me off. It pisses me off a lot. I'm sorry that I'm swearing. I do apologize. I apologize. God, it infuriates me. It's why I stopped being a pastor. It's why I left the church, and it's why I won't have anything to do with it anymore.